Far beyond Neptune, small icy worlds keep appearing in places they are not expected to be. Astronomers map one orbit, then another, then another. Instead of pointing in random directions, some of these distant worlds seem to be responding to the same unseen influence. The pattern is not obvious at first. It emerges slowly as more observations are added and the outer edge of the solar system begins to take shape. That creates a problem. A large planet should be easy to understand. Point a telescope at it and find it. Yet nothing is sitting in the sky waiting to be photographed. The strange behavior remains. The distant objects keep moving. Their paths keep suggesting that something else is there, somewhere beyond the known planets, influencing the region without ever appearing itself. For the first time, the search is no longer centered on a visible world. Researchers are forced to examine the traces instead. The possibility begins to take hold. A real planet may be shaping the outer solar system while remaining completely unseen. And if the evidence is strong enough to suggest an entire planet, why has nobody found it? More distant objects are found, then more. Each new discovery adds another path to the map of the outer solar system, and the pattern refuses to disappear. The easiest explanation still seems available. Maybe the earlier objects only looked unusual because there were too few of them. Maybe the alignment was nothing more than chance. But chance is supposed to weaken when more data arrives. Instead, the same behavior keeps showing up. Astronomers continue adding distant worlds to their catalogs. The catalog keeps expanding. New objects are added, yet the alignment refuses to break apart. That changes the situation. The safe explanation begins losing ground. The idea that everything can be dismissed as a statistical accident no longer becomes easier to defend. It becomes harder. Researchers run simulations and watch virtual solar systems evolve. Again and again, one possibility produces patterns that resemble what is being observed. A large planet, several times more massive than Earth, can generate the same kind of orbital organization appearing in the real data. Nothing has been confirmed. Nothing has been seen. But the signal remains. What once looked like an interesting coincidence is increasingly treated as a serious target. Something may truly be shaping these distant orbits. If that is correct, then one question becomes impossible to ignore. Where is it? The pattern is no longer just producing suspicion. It is producing predictions. Researchers begin working backward from the observed orbits. The hidden planet no longer seems free to hide anywhere at once. The search area starts shrinking. A specific region of sky begins to emerge. For the first time, the planet seems reachable. A target emerges. Instead of searching the entire outer solar system, astronomers can point towards specific stretches of darkness and ask a much simpler question. Is it there? Powerful telescopes are turned toward the most promising regions. More sky is eliminated. Fewer places remain. Powerful telescopes are turned toward the most promising regions. More sky is eliminated. Fewer places remain. The invisible object starts feeling less like a rumor and more like a destination. That changes the mood of the hunt. For years, the evidence existed only in the behavior of distant worlds. Now the same evidence appears capable of leading directly back to its source. The possibility feels increasingly tangible. A large planet may still be hidden in the darkness beyond the known planets, but the space available for it to hide appears to be getting smaller. If the predictions are right, the hunt is entering its final stage. The search begins. Telescopes examine the predicted regions. New surveys scan deeper into the darkness. More data arrives. More sky is covered, and the expected discovery never appears. Months become years. The observations grow more sensitive. The maps become more detailed. Yet the planet that once seemed to be narrowing toward detection remains absent. That creates a new kind of pressure. The earlier confidence depended on a simple assumption. If the orbital evidence pointed to a real planet, eventually the search should intersect with the object itself. Instead, the gap remains. While the hunt continues, researchers start looking back at the evidence that launched it. They examine not just the distant objects, but the way those objects were found. The surveys that discovered them did not observe every part of the sky equally. Some regions received more attention than others. Suddenly, the pattern faces a different challenge. What appears unusual in an incomplete map can sometimes look less unusual when the missing pieces are considered. The consequence is immediate. The prediction loses certainty from both directions at once. If Planet 9 exists, it is avoiding every attempt to reveal itself despite increasingly capable observations. If Planet 9 does not exist, then the original pattern may be less reliable than it first appeared. Neither possibility provides a clean answer. The evidence survives, but the confidence does not. The same observations that once seemed to point toward a destination now support a possibility without delivering a conclusion. And yet the pattern refuses to disappear. Years pass, more observations arrive, more searches are completed, more analysis is performed. Yet the most remarkable part of the situation remains unchanged. The planet is still missing. The evidence is still here. Neither side receives the result it needs. The searches have not produced the object that would settle the question. At the same time, the original signals have not disappeared in a way that would allow them to be dismissed and forgotten. That leaves the investigation in an unusual position. What began as a hunt for a hidden planet gradually becomes something broader. The focus shifts from a single object in the darkness to a deeper problem. How much confidence should be placed in conclusions built from incomplete data? Every new observation now carries two possible meanings. The absence of a planet cannot serve as proof that no planet exists. The persistence of the evidence cannot serve as proof that it does. The balance remains unresolved. And the lasting consequence is not a new world added to the solar system. It is the realization that the evidence never delivered a final answer. The planet never appeared. The pattern never disappeared. And the distance between those two facts remains the entire problem.